Welcome back, everybody. Here now with your full forecast on what exactly is going on right now. I'm your meteorologist, Tavian Whitehurst. We've still got some rain here in the Concho Valley. You see this wintry mix is slowly starting to make its way south into the Concho Valley. We may even be seeing a little bit of that here in San Angelo. As we're continuing into night, temperatures are continuing to drop, and that freezing line is continually making its way south, So you see that icy material is slowly moving its way south as well. You even see little bits of snow starting to pop up here in northern big country over top of that wintry mix. You see we have two colors here, which means there are two different kinds of wintry mix that we're seeing right now. There's a wetter one, which is this lighter pink, which is where we're seeing a lot more of that rain and freezing rain. And that's what you're going to see as we're approaching those freezing temperatures. So, a little bit north of the Concho Valley, you got about 33, 34 degrees. That's where you're going to be seeing that. And then this more purple wintry mix here, that's going to be some more of that frozen material. So you'll see some more sleet and even a little bit of snow. And you see some of that is actually just getting replaced by straight up snow as the area continues to cool down. The big country has been below freezing for a couple of hours now. So that snow is definitely going to be coming down more and more frequently as the system continually makes its way overnight. So, not want to keep you in mind with the fact that we do have that alert that's going to be going through that winter weather warning for the entire area. We could be seeing up to 5 inches of snow and ice accumulation. We're going to have that heavy wintry mix, which the big country is seeing right now in the Concho Valley. We'll be seeing as we continue over these next couple of hours. We may even be starting to see that as we start our 6 o'clock show. And of course, because of that, we're going to have very hazardous travel conditions. If you do have to take the loop, I'd honestly say avoid it, but be especially careful on any road that may not have gotten iced before this point. Now, with your commute in particular, it is going to get dangerous out there, especially as it continues to get even more and more icy. It was mainly just wet this morning, so you saw a lot of rain as you were getting started to your day. But as we continue into the rest of the night, we're still going to see more of that heavier precipitation make its way south, both into the Concho Valley and into the big country. So you see we got that right here because we'll have that falling wintry mix, that falling snow. And because the ground will be frozen as well, it's going to make it just that more dangerous when you're going to be out traveling on the roads, especially once we get closer into nighttime as well, because once it's dark, it's essentially just black ice on the ground, which is especially dangerous. You got to make sure you're driving slow, not making any kinds of sudden jerking or movement, and definitely be kind of light on those brakes. So what are these next couple of hours going to look like? Well, we've got this wintry mix, of course, that's going to continue to expand across the entire area. You see this snow as well as also starting to make its way further into the big country, as you saw on the radar. And as we continue, that rain is just going to keep moving on. You see we get a little bit of an empty pocket here around San Angelo and Tom Green County. So you might see a light break from some of that preset, but as we continue to the night, that is going to continue to fade away. You see midnight, we've got that wintry mix through most of the Concho Valley. And even as you get up to I-20, once you pass I-20, that's when you see some more of that snow, and that's when you see those colder temperatures as well. It's a pattern that we've been getting actually pretty often with just about every cold front that comes from the north. The big country continually has those colder temperatures because they have that earlier access to the front before it actually makes its way to the rest of West Texas. And then also they're getting hit with those northerly winds first as well. We've got strong winds that are going to be coming in as we get into Thursday. We could be gusting up to 25 miles per hour. Definitely not as extreme as winds that we've seen in some of our storms and cold fronts in the past, but it's still going to be enough to make that freezing cold feel even worse than it already will. So you see when you're waking up Thursday morning, that's when that rain is going to be taking over most of the area, stretching all the way down to about Sutton County. You see El Dorado's not really getting much, but Menard's still getting a bit of that snow and that wintry mix as well. And it's going to start to taper off as we get into Thursday. You see by the end of Thursday night, we'll just have that cloud cover that's also going to be clearing out as well as we get into Friday. So how much are we going to be seeing? It's still sort of in the books. We're looking at about 1 to 5 inches depending on where you're at. You see here in San Angelo, we could be seeing up to 1.5 inches. When you get further south, you see much smaller totals because that snow just might not make it all the way down south before it starts to make its way east. But you see right before we get between I-20 and about Mertzen here, you see we get that range of about 1 to 2 inches. When you get further north, that's when you see that 3 to 5 as well. And ice is still going to be a completely different story. You see some higher amounts over here on this western side. You see almost 1/3 of an inch here in Junction, and it's going to continue to have these high accumulations. So if you're going to be traveling anywhere, especially on highways and local roads, be especially careful. Something else I want to warn you about because of all the snow and ice accumulation, San Angelo ISD and many other school districts and colleges have been shutting down, as well as Chick-fil-A, I believe, and other restaurants and businesses. So, definitely check social media, go to our app, the Fox West Texas app, or foxwtx.com for all the information you need on what's going on. We've got our show in about an hour or so, so I'll be able to fill you in on what's going on once we get there.